ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaskar, my dear friends. In this video I am going to discuss about the sayings of Swami Vivekananda. So I start with the first saying, all power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that, do not believe that you are weak. You can do anything and everything without even the guidance of anyone. All power is there. Stand up and express the divinity within you. Arise, awake, sleep no more. Within each of you, there is the power to remove all wants and all miseries. Believe in this and that power will be manifested. On this basis, being right and doing right, the whole world can unite. All expansion is life, all contraction is death, all love is expansion. Love is therefore the only law of life. He who loves lives, he who is selfish is dying. Therefore, love for love's sake, because it is the only law of life, just as you breathe to live. The Christian is not to become a Hindu or a Buddhist, nor a Hindu or a Buddhist to become a Christian, but each must assimilate the spirit of the others and yet preserve his individuality and grow according to his own law of growth. Take up one idea, make that one idea your life, think of it, dream of it. Live on that idea, let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. Rouse yourself, therefore, for life is short. There are greater works to be done than aspiring to become lawyers and picking quarrels and such things. A far greater work is this sacrifice of yourself for the benefit of your race, for the welfare of humanity. Good motives, sincerity, and infinite love can conquer the world. One single soul possessed of these virtues can destroy the dark designs of millions of hypocrites and brutes. Our duty is to encourage everyone in his struggle to live up to his own highest ideal and strive at the same time to make the ideal as near as possible to truth. Man is like an infinite spring coiled up in a small box, and that spring is trying to unfold itself, and all the social phenomena that we see are the result of this trying to unfold. Teach the masses in the vernaculars, give them ideas, they will get information, but something more is necessary. Give them culture. Until you give them that, there can be no permanence in the raised condition of the masses. Life is nothing, death is nothing, hunger nothing, cold nothing. Glory unto the Lord, march on, the Lord is our journal. Do not look back to see who falls forward, onward. Thus and thus we shall go on, brethren, one falls and another takes up the work. 100,000 men and women fired with the zeal of holiness fortified with eternal faith in the Lord, and nerved to lion's courage by their sympathy for the poor and the fallen and the downtrodden, will go over the length and breadth of the land, preaching the gospel of salvation, the gospel of help, the gospel of social raising up, the gospel of equality. The uplift of the women, the awakening of the masses must come first, and then only can any real good come about for the country, for India. Arise, awake, for the time is propitious. Already everything is opening out before us. Be bold and fear not. It is only in our scriptures that this objective is given unto the Lord. Abhi, Abhi. We have to become Abhi, fearless, and our task will be done. Arise, awake, for your country needs this tremendous sacrifice. All nations have attained greatness by paying proper respect to women. That country and that nation which do not respect women have never become great, nor will ever be in future. Everyone must be ready for it. The conquest of the whole world by India, nothing less than that, and we must all get ready for it. Strain every nerve for it. Up, India, and conquer the world with your spirituality. As has been declared on this soil first, love must conquer hatred, and cannot conquer itself. Women must be put in a position to solve their own problems in their own way. No one can or ought to do this for them, and our Indian women are as capable of doing it as any in the world. Religion, the common inheritance, the universal birthright of the race, must be brought free to the door of everybody. Religion, India must be made as free and as easy of access as is God's air, and this is the kind of work we have to bring about in India, but not by getting up little sects and fighting on points of difference. India will be raised not with power of flesh, but with the power of the Spirit, not with the flag of destruction, but with the flag of peace and love. Say not that you are weak, the Spirit is omnipotent. Unity is knowledge, diversity is ignorance. This knowledge is your birthright. There never were different religions in the world. We are all destined to have salvation, whether we will it or not. You have to attain it in the long run and become free, because it is your nature to be free. Man is to become divine by realizing the divine. Idols or temples or churches or books are only the sports, the helps of his spiritual childhood, but on and on he must progress. Renunciation, that is flag, the banner of India floating over the world, the one undying thought which India sends again and again as a warning to dying races, as a warning to all tyranny, as a warning to wickedness in the world. Hindus, let not your hold of that banner go. Hold it aloft. Even if you are weak and cannot renounce, do not lower the ideal. With 500 men, the conquest of India might take 50 years. With as many women, not more than a few weeks. Make way for the life current of the nation. take away the blocks that bar the way to the progress of this mighty river, cleanse its path, clear the channel, and out it will rush by its own natural impulse, and the nation will go on carrying and progressing. The man who wants money is striving for freedom to get rid of the bondage of poverty. Every action of man is worship because the idea is to attain to freedom, and all action directly or indirectly tends to that. I, whoever saw money make the man, it is man that always makes money. The whole world has been made by the energy of man, by the power of enthusiasm, by the power of faith. No one was ever really taught by another. Each of us has to teach himself. The external teacher offers only the suggestion which rouses the internal teacher to work to understand things. The highest ideal is eternal and entire self-abnegation, where there is no I but all is thou. It is not that when a man becomes free he will stop and become a dead lump, but he will be more active than any other being, because every other being acts only under compulsion, he alone through freedom. Every man should take up his own ideal and endeavor to accomplish it. That is a surer way of progress than taking up other man's ideals which he can never hope to accomplish. The first manifest effect of life is expansion. You must expand if you want to live. The moment you have ceased to expand, death is upon you, danger is ahead. Mark my words, it has got to come if this nation lives at all. This question, therefore, is the greatest of the signs of the revival of national life, and through this expansion, our contribution to the general upheaval of the world is going out to the external world. Freedom is the goal. It is freedom alone that is desirable. That is what man struggles after. The eyes of the whole world are now turned towards this land of India for spiritual food, and India has to provide it for all the races. Here alone is the best ideal for mankind, and Western scholars are now striving to understand this ideal, which is enshrined in our Sanskrit literature and philosophy, and which has been the characteristic of India all through the ages. One may gain political and social independence, but if one is a slave to his passions and desires, one cannot feel pure joy of real freedom. Bring all light into the world, light bring light, let light come unto everyone. The task will not be finished till everyone has reached the Lord. Bring light to the poor and bring more light to the rich, for they require it more than the poor. Bring light to the ignorant and more light to the educated, for the vanities of the education of our time are tremendous. Thus bring light to all and leave the rest unto the Lord. After so much austerity, I have understood this as the real truth. God is present in every jiva. There is no other God besides that. Who serves jiva serves God indeed. Have a tremendous faith in yourself. Have that faith, each one of you, in yourself, that eternal power is lodged in every soul, and you will revive the whole of India. We must enter into the life of every race in India and abroad. This is the time to decide your future. While you possess the energy of youth, work. This is the time for freshest, the untouched and unsmelled flowers alone are to be laid at the feet of the Lord. It is a tremendous error to feel helpless. Do not seek help from anyone. We are our own help. If we cannot help ourselves, there is none to help us. The moment you fear you are nobody, it is fear that is the great cause of misery in the world. It is fear that is the greatest of all superstitions. It is fear that is the cause of our woes. And it is fearlessness that brings heaven even in a moment. Therefore, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Education is not the amount of information that is to put into your brain and runs riot there undigested all your life. We must have life building, man making, character making assimilation of ideas. Lay down your comforts, your pleasures, your names, fame, or position, nay, even your lives, and make a breeze of human change over which millions will cross this ocean of life. Bring all the forces of good together. Do not care under what banner you march. Do not care do not care what be your color, green, blue or red, but mix all the colors up and produce that intense glow of white, the color of love. Ours is to work. In India, there are two great evils: trampling on the women and grinding the poor through caste restrictions. Forget not that the lower classes, the ignorant, the poor, the illiterate, the cobbler, the sweeper are thy flesh and blood, thy brothers. Thou brave one, be bold, take courage, be proud that thou art an Indian, and proudly proclaim, I am an India. Every Indian is my brother. Say, the ignorant Indian, the poor and destitute Indian, the Brahmin Indian, the Pariah Indian is my brother. Say, brother, the soil of India is my highest heaven, the good of India is my good, and repeat and pray day and night. O thou mother of strength, take away my weakness, take away my unmanliness, and make me a man. Build up your character and manifest your real nature, the effulgent, the resplendent, the ever pure, and call it up in everyone that you see. Our only work is to arouse this knowledge in our fellow beings. We see that they too are the same pure self, only they do not know it. We must help them to rouse up their infinite nature. The solution is not by bringing down the higher, but by raising the lower up to the level of the higher, and that is the line of work that is found in all our books. When the lifeblood is strong and pure, no disease germ can live in that body. Our lifeblood is spirituality. If it flows clear, if it flows strong and pure and vigorous, everything is right: political, social, any other material defects, even the poverty of the land will all be cured if that blood is pure. Women will work out their own destinies much better too than men can ever do for them. All the mischief to women has come because men undertook to save the destiny of women. I consider that the great national sin is the neglect of the masses, and that is one of the causes of our downfall. No amount of politics would be any avail until the masses in India are once more well educated, well fed, and well cared for. Remember that the nation lives in the cottage, but alas, nobody ever did anything for them. Can you raise them? Can you give them back their lost individuality without making them lose their innate spiritual nature? This is to be done, and we will do it. Look upon every man, woman, and everyone as God. You cannot help anyone. You can only serve. Serve the children of the Lord. Serve the Lord Himself. Do it only as a worship. I should see God in the poor, and it is for my salvation that I go and worship them. The poor and the miserable are for our salvation, so that we may serve the Lord. Coming in the shape of the diseased, come in the shape of the lunatic, the leper and sinner. Inspiration is not filtered out to the world through one channel, however great. Each generation should be inspired afresh. If you teach Vedanta to the fisherman, he will say, I am as good a man as you. I am a fisherman, you are a philosopher, but I have the same God in me as you have in you. And that is what we want. No privilege for anyone, equal chances for all. Give up the awful disease that is creeping into our national blood, that idea of ridiculing everything, that loss of seriousness. Give that up, be strong and have Shraddha, and everything else is bound to follow. India must conquer the world, and nothing less than that is my ideal. We must conquer the world or die. There is no other alternative. The sign of life is expansion. We must go out, expand, show life, or degrade, fester, and die. To the women of this country, I would say exactly what I say to the man. Believe in India and in our Indian faith. Be strong and hopeful and unashamed, and remember that with something to take. Hindus have immeasurably more to give than any other people in the world. Misery and happiness are equal factors in the formation of character. In some instances, misery is a greater teacher than happiness. In the vast majority of cases, it would be found that it was misery that taught more than happiness. It was poverty that taught more than wealth. It was blues that brought out their inner fire more than praise. My faith is in the younger generation, the modern generation. Out of them will come my workers. They will work out the whole problem like lines. Political greatness or military power is never the mission of our race. It never was, and mark my words, it never will be. But there has been the other mission given to us, which is to conserve, to preserve, to accumulate all the spiritual energy of the race. The land where humanity has attained its highest towards gentleness, towards generosity, towards purity, towards calmness, above all the land of introspection and of spirituality, it is India. Inactivity should be avoided by all means. Activity always means resistance. Resist all evils, mental and physical, and when you have succeeded in resisting them, will calmness come. Man should be taught practical and physically strong. A dozen of such lines will conquer the world, and not millions of sheep can do so. Secondly, man should not be taught to imitate a personal idea, however great. So thank you, my dear friends, for watching this video. Here it ends. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks a lot. Namaskar, my dear friends.